All right, Sistas fans. So I hope you all are happy that I'm kind of back on track. I'm getting my videos up in a timely manner because, well, the episode came on last night and it is Thursday and I'm recording. So hopefully this video is up before 3 p.m. So yeah, holidays are over, at least for the next 3 weeks. So I should be on a, semi-regular, oh, Jeremy's uploading episode reviews pretty soon after the episodes are over. So this morning I watched Sistas and then I watched The Oval. I like both episodes a lot. I definitely got to say that Sisters took me by surprise, and of course I'll do my Oval review separately, but I'll save all my discussion for that episode review. But I have to say that Boy Bye is possibly the best episode of Sisters yet, and I was actually very shocked. I remember I was on Facebook this morning and I saw BET had uploaded a clip from the episode, pretty much about 3.5 minutes of, the beginning where Aaron's kind of telling Karen about the importance of being aware of what you're saying, how you say it, and how it affects those around you. So I watched them like, wow, he's really making some good points. But in any case, here's where we got to go. We got to just go at the beginning of the episode to the end. Honestly, this is only 1 page of notes, which usually for me is like, well, if an episode only has 1 page of notes, probably not that good. But no. This episode had a lot of substance in it. And believe it or not, that more substance came from newer and B-tier characters than the main cast. And I really like that aspect of it. So we have Zach, of course, coming up right as Aaron and Karen are kissing. And to put it in simplest terms, she tells him off and he pretty much reiterates the fact that no matter what he tries to do, all she does is belittle him. And he, turns around on his bike and goes off. But the fact that she's like, I hope you get a flat tire. I was like, that was messed up. So, Zach is defeated, tail between his legs, and he's going back to Danny's place. Well, technically their place because he pays half the rent there. And Aaron pretty much shuts her down when she's like, shut up and come on inside, because he puts like, look, I'm not going to be that dude. You're not going to talk to me the way you talk to him. Basically, you're not going to belittle me. You're going to talk to me like I'm a person, not a dog. And he made some valid points. And sure, some might think of it just as a rant, but no. I will admit this moment really did have a Tyler Perry stamp of a seal on it. What I mean by that is Aaron's dialogue sounded like it could have come directly out of a Tyler Perry play or a movie, because this definitely has some very good points. And not too often do you hear, well, I don't want to just say men, but people in general talk to other people like that. Like the way that he, turned it around and reversed it on Karen to show her how it felt to be talked down like that made some good points. Now, part of me was thinking, is he being a hypocrite? Because of how he talks to Fawn. But then I thought about last episode. Aaron didn't really say anything to Fawn. Sure, he was angry and demanding when he was talking with Fawn. And no, I'm not taking a side because I'm a guy and he's a guy. No. Listen to what I'm saying here. When he was talking with Fawn, obviously he was angry and irritated. But at the same time, he never said anything quite demeaning to her to make her feel less than a person. He pretty much brought out the fact that, cheating on me is the biggest no-no. And then the fact that, hey, can we work this out? Well, I will. Well, we will as soon as I forget about you stepping out on me with Skip. So basically, he never talked down to her in the same way that Karen talked down to Zach. And I get it, because I was reading some comments online and people like, yeah, that's right, because Karen always talks with attitude and whatnot. And kind of like, Aaron, she has a right to be upset, not just about cheating, but on top of that, didn't Zach potentially give her a disease for messing around with someone else? But I think in the first episode, it was confirmed that she wasn't infected with anything. But at the same time, there was a possibility of antibiotics, but she's good to go. She doesn't have to worry about it. And I say antibiotics because I think I'm getting that confused with Carissa from Greenleaf when she got chlamydia from Fernando. So basically, this was a good scene. I really liked it. And then we move on to the fact that Zach and Danny are talking briefly. She's getting ready for the girls' night. That's kind of like the B story of the episode. She's getting ready for girls' night. Zach is upset because of the fact that he listened to Danny, went to go talk with Karen, and it did not turn out well at all. And he's begging for the pen due to the fact that, hey, I just want to loosen up because I've had a hell of a night. And we get some more intel here, and I really like this episode because we kind of dive deep, and this is a catalyst of what I believe is going to be a explosion next week. And that's the fact that this show has 4 female leads, but it's getting realistic. What I mean by that is not everything is hunky-dory between friends like that. Not all women are going to agree on everything like these characters do. And I have talked about it a few times already that even though these girls are all friends, there isn't that much camaraderie. It almost seems like there are definitely sides where Karen and Andy are closer to each other than they are with the rest of the group. And of course, Sabrina and Danny are kind of like their own sets of friends, if you will, within the group itself, and they come together from time to time, but not everyone is aware of what everyone else is doing, if that makes any sense. They pretty much have their favorites in terms of who they talk to about certain things. So, I mean, even Danny brings up the fact that Karen and Andy hold out on her, and then she finally gives him the pen, and he goes to the bathroom. So Andy's at the law firm, a female janitor, I believe her name, Miss Irene. This was a good scene, and once again, Miss Irene definitely seems like one of those, cameo characters from a Tyler Perry show or whatever. And I really like this scene because, Andy's a good person just based on the trash, and I love those kind of older, wise characters in shows and movies like this who, don't seem to. What's that saying? It's like you always learn a lot from the people you don't expect to hear something deep from. So yeah, just because she's a woman who works for a cleaning service with her son, that doesn't mean she can't bestow wisdom. So I really enjoyed this scene. It was really good. So after that, well, actually, excuse me, I don't want to jump ahead, but she did say she had a son. This was kind of confusing to me because I thought at times that she would say son, but then when Paris came up, he would say grandma. So is that the grandmother or is that the mother? I don't really know. And let me know if I'm wrong, because I did watch it kind of early this morning, but I'm pretty sure I was aware when I was taking notes. I don't know if that was Paris's grandmother or Paris's mother, but in any case, they're relatives, and she's trying to hook him up with someone. But Andy is seeing someone, and then she leaves. So we go back to Zach and Danny, who's high, and it's kind of interesting because in the first scene, Danny's telling Zach not to slam doors and be loud because the landlord lives directly below them. But here she is banging on the door, demanding the pen, gets a knife, opens the door. And I will admit, I did chuckle the fact that the dude's high with a cowboy hat in the bathtub. I'm not going to lie. If there was a rubber ducky, I would have lost it. I don't know why, but I just found that incredibly funny. But in his inebriated state, I don't even know if that's the right word, but it just felt like the right thing to say. He was pretty much, dropping truth bombs about the fact that, the girls talk behind her back. And that made Danny feel some kind of way. So Andy's in the, still at the law firm, getting ready to leave. But then the cleaning lady comes in to tell Andy there's a man there to see her. And it turns out to be Gary. And Andy pretty much shuts it down like, look, it's not a good idea for you to be here, especially this late at night. And there are cameras, so don't try to make a move on me. He's mad about her not answering calls or text messages and ask her if she's coming home or not. And oh gosh, she says that she will come home after she has a night with her girls. And that's that. So then we have Sabrina alone at Freddie P's, right? That's the name of their get together. And a guy tries to hit on her who's a singing trainer or something like that. So she's calling everyone. Danny's not answering. Karen isn't there yet. Andy's still at work. So, she's calling everyone. So as Karen's coming out of her house, Fawn is, oh my gosh, I skipped over Karen's mother. But I'll get to that. My bad. I wrote this in the same paragraph about using bullet points. But Fawn, who looks toe up from the flow up, I don't know if she's drunk. I don't know if she's high. But either way, she wants to talk with Karen, who obviously wants nothing to do with her. And Sabrina made the right call of, hey, stay on the phone, don't hang up. And, Karen gets her to leave, thankfully, because I don't know what's wrong with her. Ugh. Wait, not to mention, if Aaron is, who's watching her kids? Okay, anyway, so, Zach, oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong note, my bad, hang on. Yeah, she calls Aaron to say, your wife better not come around here again. I'm going to beat her ass. So then Andy finds Miss Irene unconscious. She calls 911. And after that, Danny actually arrives at Freddie P's, obviously a bit heated over what Zach said, and is kind of interrogating Sabrina about, what the other girls say about her behind her back. So when a guy comes up to her and wants to get her a drink, Danny kind of intercepts saying, hey, if you want to get to know her, you got to get to know me. And so she goes off with him to get a drink. So afterwards, we have Sabrina calling Karen. No, actually, sorry. Karen gets a call from Andy about how she needs to be picked up from the hospital because of what happened with the cleaning lady at work. And Karen actually arrives at Freddie P's a little after Paris arrives at the hospital to check on his grandmother. So Karen arrives to talk about Sabrina in regards to the whole Aaron situation and Fawn and how the wife was just popping up at the house and at the job. But, Danny notices her in the corner. Karen waves, and then Danny flips her off. And then the final scene, we have Paris and Andy coming back from the hospital because Miss Irene. I love the fact that Paris like, wait, doctor, she didn't fake this, right? Because it's like, dang, it's like, Miss Irene must be going through extremes to try to hook up her grandson/son with someone to date. So I thought that was pretty funny. And I like this scene a lot. We get intel on, Miss Irene, the fact that she's all Paris has left. And we didn't get into Paris' story because right as, Andy wanted to know, she arrives at the law firm. And we kind of see, if you paid attention, we got a blink and you miss a moment where we see that Gary was still walking around in the main lobby. So he either didn't leave or I don't know, because think about it this way. Andy was in the ambulance and then went to the hospital. And this is the thing, we don't know the time frame. I don't want to get too technical here, but we really don't not know the distances from different places. For example, Andy was about to go home to get ready for the girls' night. And then we had the fact that, Miss Irene's situation, she had to get in the ambulance, wait for 911 to get there, get in the ambulance, then go to the hospital, called Karen to pick her up, but then that got intercepted by Paris, who brought her back to the law firm where she can get her stuff and then go home and get ready for the girls' night. So Gary knew that Andy still had to finish up some work before going home, getting ready for the girls, or was Andy just going straight to the girls' night? Because she did say that what Gary kept saying, when are you coming home? So I'm assuming the fact that he is staying with Andy, that's what he means by home. So, yeah, I'm a bit confused by that. But in the next episode, I don't think, she might actually be at Freddie P's. I do think we see Andy actually there. So, and what time is it? You know what? Never mind. Let's not even think about that. So, as Andy's going up the stairs, we see Gary still in the lobby. So, because he was on the other side of the lobby as Andy was coming back in. So, I'm assuming the reason he's there is because he still saw Andy's car at the location. I don't know. But in any case, going back to the scene I accidentally skipped over at the beginning of the episode, as soon as Karen went back inside after Aaron left her, her mom's in there, who actually sounds a lot like Whoopi Goldberg. And pretty much is talking about the fact that, men have a slower maturity than women, and that Karen should apologize to the accountant, Aaron, about the situation. And Karen's still confused about what to do. And I think I saw this in a cartoon once, or heard this in a cartoon once. And I think one of the characters is like, whoa, it's good advice when you're still confused afterwards. Yeah, that's actually very true. So really, that's all I have to say. 8.5 out of 10. I ought to give it a 9 though, because this was a really good episode. It was an episode that really showed more. What's the word I'm looking for? I like the flow of this episode. Once again, characters who we've never been introduced to, but who came in and gave good advice. They really gave good scenes. I really like the flow. Correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the only comedic scenes were between Zach and Danny, but they didn't overstay their welcome. And it actually led to the next stage of development for Danny in terms of, she's not really as, I guess you could say, beloved by her sisters as she thinks. The fact that she runs up bills when she's not paying, and, they don't really like carrying her out anywhere because she's a bit too ratchet and embarrassing. So I actually do like that aspect, because that can definitely affect the connection between these four women as the season goes on. And and then Karen being called out for her attitude and how she talks to people. Andy being called out for being a good person, and yeah, true. I mean, the whole that was one of my early Sistas videos. Is Andy a good person, despite the fact she's messing around with a married man? And it just goes to show that yeah, she's a good person in almost every other aspect of her life, but this one is a big question mark. Sabrina didn't get much to do in this episode. She was just there at the Freddy P's and got hit on, but I think that's of course going to be followed up in the next episode when we have another interesting underwear scene between her and Calvin. But no, I'm not taking points off because Sabrina didn't have a lot to do. It's just that, you know, she was obviously the character with the short end of the stick. It was definitely a well put together episode. I loved it. I believe Sistas was trending, and I think I mentioned this in another video or some. Where did I say this? But I did go to sleep pretty early last night. I went to bed around 8-ish. I woke up at like 1:30, stayed up for an hour, then went back to sleep and woke up at 7. So basically, yeah, I was asleep during the episodes, but yeah, I did see the Oval was trending when I was up at like 1:30. I didn't see Sistas trending at that time, but I did see that people from the show were screenshotting that Sistas was trending at some point last night. So that's good. I'm glad it is because this episode, really good. Looking over the notes, that's all I have to say. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Sistas was good last night? Did you watch it? What do you think about the show as a whole? Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so we can finally hit 100,000. We need a little less than 1,400 people. Looking at the numbers real quick. It is currently 11:53 a.m. and at this time we're at 98,655. So yeah, we need a little over 1,300 people and we finally hit 100,000. Then I can shut up about it. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Check me out on social media. Links are in the description below. Now I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break to give my voice some rest, and I'll come back and record my Oval video.